playing for the strong lanes into 20-minute overwhelm T1. T1 haven't really adjusted their playstyle throughout the series. They've hard committed to survival and then turning the game back around. So they're going to have to really make sure they pick the correct fights, otherwise this game can get out of hand quite quickly.
And I'm glad we've picked the correct casters for this game number 4. It's Sunsfan and Lacoste.
That's right. Now that Jenkins is fired from the broadcast, yeah, he keeps coming back somehow. I don't know how he keeps getting back to security, but Sunsfan with Lacoste. I was really happy to see Winter Wyvern banned. I was happy to see Lifestealer and Axe picked, as always. But Abaddon carry. Oh, tell me about this.
Something that South America loves to do. It's very uncommon. I want to see what the build is going to be. Maybe Midas into Radiance, maybe like Phase Boots casual gloves into Radiance. On the other side, you have Nyx Assassin, so Radiance is never going to feel that great, but I don't think you can afford to go for different kind of item build on a carry Abba, because this is your strength. And you also, as a Radiance carry, you don't care too much about the carapace, because you have ulti just to get the stun off, and you can be bursted down. So maybe that's like one of the strengths, especially against the Nyx Assassin. We'll see. This time around, they have Lina, Enchantress plus a Disruptor. Very burstable heroes if you get on top of them, so they need to focus on the laning stage. On the other side, a lot of overtime damage coming out from either Battle Hunger, Annoyance from Nyx Assassin in the mid-game fights, Fatal Bonds, Viper, a lot of different stuff, and they don't have any abilities that goes through Magic Immunity, so I'm a bit worried what 23savage can do in this game to beat this lineup. I've seen him play with Lifestealer so many times. He's extremely good at saving people. You know that there's going to be like Kunkka uses a combo or Lina stun. He will jump in to get him that extra HP that is necessary to survive.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if I was just going based off of lineup alone, T1's lineup looks very strong, and it's part of it is just the unknown factor of this Abaddon for Nightfall. And I'm not saying he's going to build this Lacoste. Okay, I know this is stupid. Jenkins makes fun of me all the time.
I'm listening. Like, give me a new build.
But we have been seeing a lot of Echo Sabers on these position 1s, and Echo Saber on this hero with Manta is actually pretty dirty, because he gets silenced like instantly.
And then you hit him one more time, that's 3 out of 4. And then comes the 4th.
With Manta. You Manta, then do it. It's instant. All right?
It's not bad.
I'm telling you. But Radiance does feel a lot better. But like you said, it is against the Nyx Assassin, which makes this a bit awkward. So we'll see, because you can get that Spike Carapace off any time you're in the vicinity of him, but then again, he can just pop his ult at any point as well. Yeah, really looking, as you can tell, I'm extremely excited about this game.
Yeah, I need you to calm down, sir.
Okay. Let me just reset. GPK is going to be mid lane versus Carl. We got the Lina Viper lane, which we've seen a few times before. Who do you like in this lane, young man?
It's always Viper. No matter who I see, it's always going to be Viper.
Really?
Pretty much, because Viper, he's still saving a point. Carl deciding whether he needs to put another in the poison attack, or if he wants to go for corrosive skin. Those right clicks from Lina are very annoying, so just 1 point in corrosive skin is enough. That a bit of a attack slow and also overtime damage feels really nice, but so far 2 in poison attack on the bottom lane. They decided to switch things up a bit. It's gonna be Warlock playing position 5, white one on the hero with Axe. They just want to secure Axe's farm, I would say, where you give him that regeneration, and you know that the Lifestealer is playing into the melee matchup, but I don't think Lifestealer is going to be able to sustain throughout this whole harassment coming up from the Enchantress. Big camp is still not blocked.
Yeah, you might have some trouble on the Lifestealer, but the fact that Wyvern is finally gone, their backup apparently is the Warlock, which used to be the meta hero, then kind of dropped off a cliff. The Shard got some tweaks, used to be very powerful. So interesting to see what they do here. Is Kunkka getting gone on inside the kinetic field. One more proc for that silence. There you go. Imagine what it would have been like with an Echo Saber, Mr. Lacoste, but he will live.
Yeah, it would be pretty OP if one hero had Echo Saber 2.5 minutes in. Yeah. That would be really hard.
Ice Frog.
Lane into
Think
him.
about it.
Echo Saber from Quelling Blade, Gauntlets of Ogre Strength, and the rest of the 150 gold.
Yeah, I like it. Very nice. Also works on range heroes as well. We can add that in at some point.
Do you think it would be too OP if it works on the range heroes?
Probably. I mean, think of Weaver. You get triple attack, basically, whenever you want, which he basically can get, but only at level 25. So Another hero that we just don't see right now. But yeah, always excited to see these heroes that are like, I would consider them not super meta, at least not in this position, right?
Yes.
And the funny thing is, you could have, I mean, obviously they want to wait till later in the draft. As you can see an LSA connect here. You could have picked Abaddon first and you could have just faked them out, but it was the last pick Abby, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It was. It was something that's not usually seen. They got surprised. Last pick Abba, what you're gonna do? I don't think they... Like, they could potentially kill Abba with level 20 axe. He's burstable, 150 Calling Blade threshold, so you can dunk him. But it needs to be like perfect scenario.
You say Abaddon, right?
Abba,
But
Abaddon,
you say
Abaddon.
because Abaddon, right?
In Dota 1 days, I believe he was called Abaddon.
No, it's the opposite.
It was the opposite?
Yeah.
Okay, I got confused.
The correct pronunciation is Abaddon. I've had this conversation with so many people before, but I just hate it. Zephyr getting pressured by the Centaur. Oh, save. Okay. Gonna get the Impale off. You can see that Tidebringer doing pretty decent damage for DM. Very excited to see him play that as well. Something we have yet to mention. But Kunkka getting chased. Curse of Avernus. Extra attack speed now.
Couple of magic sticks.
Looks like he will dive. Nope, he will not. Yeah, the Aphotic Shoe was actually on Kingslayer, so didn't end up getting that proc off, sadly, for VP fans out there. Yeah, we have a lot of cool storylines, though. I mean, the fact that DM is playing Kunkka, which that first game that we saw is, I mean, that's a game for the ages, honestly. One of the coolest. If you guys haven't seen that game, go check out the VOD. As we're going to see Kunkka, again, getting pressured here. Aphotic Shield this time onto Nightfall, so this should surely be first blood. And for VP.
Third time's the charm. They try to go 3 times on him, and finally they manage to bring him down. Nightfall will get the last hit. They need some kind of regeneration at the bottom. Couriers were being used, so they have none left. So someone needs to go back. Couriers at this point, level 3, level 4, are extremely slow.
Yeah.
I think this scenario here should be like either one you TP back with one of the heroes, or Kingslayer just dies and comes back with a free TP, healing cell back to the lane. Because right now he's sitting at the 300 HP, no mana. We managed to miss a kill, or I missed a kill. I was looking at my own PC.
Okay, Zephyr died on his patented Nyx Assassin.
There we go.
Yep, gets X marks back and ends up being a pretty easy one.
Thank you.
2-0 advantage for VP, but they are behind in net worth. I know it's very early on, but you can look at the net worth of the 2 cores and the Viper and the Lifestealer. They're not doing too shabby overall, but not the hugest lead.
I think the reason why Nightfall decided to TP back is because he got that first blood and also has the full phase boots. So coming back to the lane is a bit more speedy than what we usually see 4 or 5 minutes in.
Yep, again, pressuring the axe, and this is a lot of damage. Like you said, the phase boost makes such a big difference, and now the Aphotic Shield applied, so gonna get glimpse back, in fact, and we'll see if the Aphotic Shield actually wasn't enough to take him out, but the right clicks are. So Nightfall again.
It's fine.
Owning. Yeah.
Okay, he's actually gonna save him. Removed both Battle Hunger and Fatal Bonds. I think it's fine to let him die there.
Yeah, but the fact that this mid lane, I mean, GPK netting himself a kill, that is a pretty big story.
That's actually huge. Now he's the level 7, has that regeneration rune running. Something that was very popular during the major is blocking the small camp, so you cannot farm it. It was not done in this game. So Lina, she's very good at. Same goes for Viper. Either stacking the small camp after pushing the wave. And now GPK is in the triangle, already farming the big stack.
And you can see Lifestealer trying to farm with that siege creep. It's going to be a little difficult for him, but he's getting tipped right now. Yeah, not a whole lot of damage to deal, but he's still doing pretty well in terms of the CS. But might have to be careful here. They know that Infest is down. Torrent will connect to start things out here with the Hadouken from the Satyr. We'll have to rage into the runaway, but they are chasing after him, actually.
If he gets the X-Mark, he's dead. Level 1 boat deals a ton of damage. And you also have save, regeneration, pretty much coming out from the aura. Nyx Assassin, not the strongest laner. Doesn't provide you with much early on. So no surprise that they are not doing too hot on the top lane. DM, whenever he plays Kunkka and there's no Invoker in his team, he tends to get an Urn. Urn stick into Hood. upgrade it into Viper because there is so much magical damage early. Viper,
Considering how much they're pressuring 23savage, he is farming pretty well though.
He's farming okay underneath the
surprising.
tower. Pretty much the same amount of farm as Kunkka. But he is killable. He uses the Rage, which is 18-second cooldown, only 3-second duration. Another time, they go for this mid tower. 7 minutes in,
Dire's middle tower
Save will
has
get the
fallen.
tower. This is pretty big. It opens up the map, and it also allows Lina to potentially rotate to the top lane. One torrent into LSA should guarantee a kill on a Lifestealer.
Yeah, I think it was the last game or the game before where it was a minute and a half earlier than this, but it's still very early for this tier 1 tower. We're going to see Viper strike, so Carl will get
really
first
show
kill.
the Bambi who the boss is.
Yeah, I mean Viper is a really good hero against Enchantress early on because of Viper strike not needing to really auto attack to get a kill in most scenarios. A 4-1 advantage here for VP, and DM still in this top lane has the urn. We've seen him go pipe so many times before. We'll see if he switches up at all.
Definitely a good fight game against Warlock. Next, Viper, kind of early magic damage. Well, TP mid, refill the bottle for GPK. And they can outpush the wave and possibly smoke because they didn't show the supports. Let's see what happens, or they just run to the top lane.
Dire are
Still
scanning.
no boots on Kingslayer. Well, it's 9 minutes in the game. Connect feel for a little vision, but Zephyr's going to run right into the LSA. Spike Carapace, Laguna Blade. Save takes it for himself. And Nightfall, it will be the Radiant's first item. There's still hope for the Echo Saber. One day.
What about Echo Saber after Radiance?
Yeah,
I think it's Radiance into Manta style feels really good.
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
also
of
very-
spells to dispel. Even though you have a built-in dispel, Warlock. Yeah, there we
Man.
go. Kingslayer.
It's like
one more time.
Once
Hitting
these
it.
phase moves came online for Nightfall, it's just no getting away from it anymore, especially with just a +1 there. Why do you think it is that we don't see Abby as a position 1 as often? Like, obviously you talked about South America being relatively common, but basically nowhere else. Is LSA. Okay. No Laguna Blade this time. Zephyr's going to set it up with the Spike Carapace into the Impale. DM not quite in range for the X. He's going to take the Viper strike instead, but now the LSA onto the Viper into the boat as well. Carl getting pressured big time. Save is there as well. Man, Zephyr baited his teammate there, it looked like.
Save one more time. Good rotation. They also have a ward on the high ground, which allows them to play a bit more aggressive. And
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
defensive wards near the big camp tier 2 tower that T1 placed. This is the second time I see them place this. When they play against the Enchantress, they just want to see the rotation early on, possibly collapse on a mid tier 2 tower, wrap around.
Yeah, and definitely a good start for VP. 23savage is going for the armlet into casual Sange, and we'll see what he turns that into.
Scotty. This is his build on a Lifestealer.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, pretty solid overall. We actually, was it him that bought the shard really early on for the open wounds? He ends up getting kited. He's gonna insta buy
or Nightfall.
Yeah, I guess that's true. One of the two. The GPK, they're gonna pop out. Infest, no longer. But back to farming we go. But he's still doing relatively well.
It was a nice, cute play there. He took over the catapult and just ran away with it. Enchantress seen this movie multiple times. When you play against Viper, you can't really do too much magical damage coming out from the hero.
Yeah, what do you think, though, going back to that combo about position 1 Abby and why we don't see it? Do you think it has, like, major weaknesses?
I think we might see if this tournament, for example, went on for another week, it just becomes a meta, and then everyone starts either banning it, because it's also possibly a flex pick, position 5 or position 1. So
Right.
it's something that teams like start to do. If you remember, I think it was before DPC 1 started. Omni Knight plus Sven. Like Omni Knight,
Yeah.
everyone was talking badly about the hero. Suddenly, super popular, one of the best combos.
This was when Sven was good, right?
Yeah, maybe during a Mega League time, I believe. It was a hot thing. And this time around, Lina going straight into BKB one more time. I just love this build compared to Boots of Travel.
Yeah.
Second item after finishing off the ult, because you have 2 defensive tools and you're relying on a timing. I've seen Lina's fall off so many times after getting
Radiant's
5-0.
bottom tower
Heroes who
is
can
under
get on top
attack.
of her, and they have many.
And a lot of the games that you're talking about is Nightfall might take some initiation here. Kunkka's in the vicinity with the rest of his team with the smoke. You're seeing the Blink Dagger into the ball. Yeah, we'll get the Viper strike out, but there's the borrowed time, and that's why you don't initiate on Abaddon.
Not sure what the plan there was. I guess we
Force the
need the
TP.
hero, potentially like TP rotation, 100 gold down the drain.
Yeah, and he has a Sacred Relic.
Cannot kill him. So another 50 seconds without that ulti. We'll continue to farm up, get the Radiance. That's a big timing for them, and this was also a blink reveal.
Dire's
Yep, that is
top
actually
getting
very
scouted.
under attack.
As Zephyr scouting things out here, we have some TPs going on. Impale only onto one, so it might be save.
Oh, what a
Sacrificing
play.
himself for the
There.
torrent into the boat. Not really going to do much here.
That was nicely done by Save.
Radiant's
Hits
bottom
him
tower is under
with the creep,
attack.
cancels the Blink Dagger, and then uses Ensnare, completely shuts down initiation coming out from Axe. T1, they can't find any openings. They managed to kill Enchantress 2 times, and that's pretty much it.
I mean, back to this build from GPK, because we cast a couple of games as well where we see these boots of travel really early. And a lot of the time, it was on the team that was losing. So it feels like you're buying this kind of greedy item, and then you just use
Yeah,
the
I've
game
been
even more
very
at that
vocal
point.
about it during the major. During this tournament, I've seen it lose too many times, especially in a game when you're 2, 3, 4k gold behind and you decide to invest the half of your BKB into Boots of Travel. It's just not a thing. But to go back to his skill build, Dragon Slave, it's 4-1-4 build, allows you to farm a lot more, allows you to farm the Ancients with this build. Radiance online. Not yet.
Well, 700 to go. You can see he has the Blade of Alacrity, so one single item at a time to get that Manta, I assume. I've never seen that before. That's kind of strange.
Manta style is good, but you also have a way of dispelling things. I wouldn't mind if it's also SNY.
Okay.
You want to have status resistance against Axe. Especially Jug, he always buys SNY whenever he plays against the Axe. Just lower the duration of that Berserker's Call, even Nyx Assassin's Stun.
Yeah, because Borrowed Time does not take off Berserker's Call. It's one of the few things that Hard to Spell does not take off at all, right? So status resistance, kind of the only thing you can do. Other than
when the boss calls, you have the answer.
Yeah, that's true. Axe is definitely a boss indeed. Is Zephyr scouting things out on DM right here? Another hero that you can get a pretty easy spike carapace on if you're in the right area with a Tidebringer.
Radiant
As usual, working on his Aghanim Scepter, but that's a long way away.
I managed to stack it.
Yeah, unfortunate. It's okay, DM, we weren't watching. But yeah, still going for that pipe. And are you... Shard, is there any reason not to go for Shard? Because he just seems to be so god tier with it. Tidal Wave usage from
This
him
is
is
his
like
build.
none other.
Might just finish off like a casual medallion and then turn that into Tidal Wave. 20-minute mark. Shard, we've seen what he can do. One of the best Kunkka's performance, as you mentioned, that we've seen in a really long time.
Yeah, Cuckoo is going for the typical, I mean, he's basically playing position 1 here, as you've seen that replay. Very nice. But
yeah, do it one more time just to show that he cannot stack with Torrent.
very sad. Very sad. But Nightfall's Radiance is online. And typically when you are this here, I mean, I guess you could say for a lot, like the Wraith Gang is similar. You're very tanky, extremely hard to kill, and when you have the Radiance, that's basically go time. Do you think they're waiting for anything else, or is that pretty accurate?
Lina BKB, maybe Abba is a bit too farmed at the moment, so you're not gonna have a BKB on Lina plus a Radiance, but I feel with Abba behind you and like the survivability that the Dual Scepter gives you, I think it's enough. We still have not seen a single rock, right?
Oh, finally Vendetta. That is true. Chaotic Offering. Okay, you spoke it into existence, my friend, and it was not a good one. I'm just gonna throw it out. I want to throw it out there.
Instantly, you dropped the rock.
That is perfect timing, but we do get a glimpse into the Static Storm with the Kinetic Field pulling him in, and Zephyr will take a tumble towards spawning them out here. So now with the Radiance, I think they just bulldoze down lanes, or at least attempt to. He did go for the Blade of Alacrity, by the way, so just keeping you guys on your toes here. I don't know why he did one
blade.
Yeah, he just had it queued up. I don't know why.
He's still thinking. I think he is thinking whether he needs that Manta style to be able to outpush the waves and get rid of some extra spells so you don't have to use a Photic Shield, or if he wants to get SNY. We'll see what he decides to go for. Picks up a Pupil's Gift. Not the best one. I prefer it on either intelligence or agility heroes, so you get some extra strength.
So we do have to mention though, T1 side. So Kunkka obviously going for the Manta style shard build, but it's not really going to come online until the 20-minute mark, but it seems to be close. Actually, no, he's going to be a little bit late on that. It might be like 23 minutes. Whitemon getting caught out here to start things out. Carl applying the pressure with the break in the Nether Toxin. Really not going to do that much, though. The Radiance just going to work here. Glimpse back onto Kunkka. Now going for him alone. Zephyr taking some damage from Save in the meantime, but we're going to lose the Disruptor, so it's a 1-for-1 to start this fight. And GPK kind of stuck in the trees here. He's going to get called. Carl, nice heal from the Infest into the chop before the borrowed time actually comes through. GPK still with the BKB. And another kill for Kunkka. So who cares about this shard build as long as you could chop kids down? That went through the borrowed time. Very nicely done.
Yeah, also Disruptor didn't get any spells off. Viper just instantly goes on him, forces him to like use a Thunderstrike, which is nothing but does not allow him to use the full combo. GPK was also running a bit low on mana. A great decision making once again from T1. This team just knows how to play from behind.
Yeah, they've definitely shown that from time to time. As Save going into his own triangle, Kuku's going to blink out to safety. That gave him so much gold, by the way. That's basically a full Manta. So I was saying he would get like 22, 23-minute Manta Shard. It's going to be more like a 20 to 21 minute at this stage.
He's super. 4,000 gold on top of Vanguard, full wand, and the Blink Dagger, level 13.
He is a beefy boy who picks up a Fan Brace as well. Even beefier now. Very nice. With Magic Resist, extra strength. And we can see on the side of T1 still that 23savage is still working on that Scotty. Not super close to getting it, but he is still top net worth and farm by a decent margin.
Oh, look at Nightfall. He knows. He sees Nyx Assassin, turns off the Radiant, so there is no counterplay to that. They have a break mechanic, but they don't have any silences to follow it up on Abaddon, because this is a super deadly combo. Against him, you break him, and then he needs to click with his mouse or a keyboard borrowed time. If you silence him, then he cannot use his ulti.
I'm pretty sure he can click R.
Depends. Maybe you forgot. Sometimes
that's right. If it happens once, yeah. The first time is sometimes the time that you can get away with it, right?
Yes.
But then you learn.
Abba's talents are extremely good for a carry. You get 8 strength, you get 65 damage.
Yeah, Zephyr can be glimpsed out. Already used the Spike Carapace, so the LSA into the right clicks are more than enough. Yeah, the 8 strength is nice with the Radiance build. A lot of times you see the 15 move speed because you go for this Yasha into something to help amplify that move speed overall, but
8 strength also means 8 damage.
This is true. It is a strength here after all, so is going for the Manta after all. And first Roche, and we didn't really mention this, but I mean, Abaddon as a hero, good against Roche, good against towers.
Very good.
And with GPK on the back line, look how fast he's attacking with the fiery soul stacks.
Keep those stacks coming. Clarity running on him constantly.
Does this surprise you that he gets the Aegis?
Not really. Because last
GPK does
fight,
have BKB now, I guess. I
think the damage that you get from the Radiance is a bit too high, so you want to have Abba in the fight as much as possible, and he will be the front line. That's the big difference.
Yeah, that's true.
Even with ulti, he can still die, as what happened in the previous fight. GPK.
Radiant's middle tower.
I love this. I think he has a great understanding of what he needs to build. I don't think he's going to go for Boots of Travel. I see MKB, which I really like. Just get more damage. Wants to be able to pump up some damage against Viper, against the Lifestealer, because right now they're very limited on the physical. They have, once again, nothing that goes through spell immunity.
Yeah, this is a right-click carry for the Aegis for sure. And you're right, because Abaddon's going to be in the front line hitting the towers.
Just kidding. He bought Boots of Travel.
Caster Curse, typical stuff. I mean, it was one of those things where he had the MKB queued up. He has 2k gold. It's like,
What about Boots of Travel?
We can go Boots of Travel. Why not?
Lowering the cooldown of the TPs will deal with the split push, set things up on a side lane.
But either way, he goes this after the other items, which is fine for the most part, right?
It is. I think if they lost the Roche fight, T1 picks up Aegis, he might need to go for damage item this time around. They're staying ahead in terms of what they're doing with the first Aegis. but still T1 ahead in terms of gold. Kunkka level 15, Manta style done.
Gotti now done as well for 23savage.
Also on top of the chart, Kunkka's just getting gold out of nowhere.
Yep, those Manta illusions are quite strong, even without that shard. Just being able to push it down waves, very strong indeed. As 3 minutes left on the Aegis for Nightfall, so we'll see if they want to get into a fight here. GPK is going to find somebody. Oh, but a free chaotic offering onto 3 behind him, and a static storm to follow. Laguna Blade, the Infest to try to heal. Boat is coming in. Gets the Manta off, but the LSA connects again, and Kunkka will take a tumble. Big kill for VP. And now the glimpse back from 23savage. He's already used his rage. But going to get silenced here if he's not careful. A nice big impale that from the Nyx Assassin, but they will be able to clean up 23savage. In fact, it's saved to get the kill of all heroes. Kingslayer in the corner. Carl pops the BKB, just going to right-click, contently getting that double kill for himself. So it's a 2 for 2 in the end as GPK also died. Nether Toxin though, yeah, glimpse back. That wasn't the glimpse, actually, that was the X.
That was the X mark.
So 3 for 2.
Still a very good trade for Virtus.pro. They managed to kill off Axe. As mentioned, 23savage just loves to use that Infest. I don't think I've seen him use Infest aggressively. It's more about that save. He tries to use it on Axe, but they already blew him up to half HP with the combo. Both plus Laguna Blade, couple of right clicks. They still get a return kill. Lina dies. When you play Abba as a carry, you're going to be out of position, so you won't be able to save your teammates because you want to lock onto the target and just go straight killer. We've seen how effective the silence also is against the Lifestealer when there's no rage. 4 right clicks, even though he does not have an Echo Saber.
This is true, but Manta Style will help him get those procs. Now, keep that in mind that Satanic can be picked up at some point for the Lifestealer, so you can just dispel the Curse of Avernus stack once it gets to that point. So Rage should, I mean, if he goes for that build, which I assume he will at some point if the game goes long enough.
And look at this.
It is even.
Yeah, this is going to make you happy, Suns fan. Abaddon.
Oh, yes, my boy. Hell yeah. What did we say, huh? Radiance Manta into Echo Saber. Yes. Love it. Nightfall, my new favorite player. I'm supposed to not be biased, though.
You know, they've been listening to stream. These guys are smart. You know, we should start paying more attention to professional casters.
I like this guy's Aghanim
why
list.
they're casting grand finals, right?
That's true. That's true. It's not because nobody was hired other than me. That was just very convenient to have me in the area. All right, Carl's going to pop the BKB, so that takes off the glimpse. But with that, the smoke on the VP, you're going to feel very comfortable knowing that that magic immunity is going to be down. GPK, like we talked about, is working on the MKB now, has a 7-second BKB online. And Scotty, looks like he will actually finish SNY for 23savage. I like the Halberd. Yeah, Halberd would have been pretty good, wouldn't it?
Halberd is nice against Abba, against Lina. Those right clicks, the miss chance also.
Rage?
They got nothing. He can just TP out.
Yeah. Although he's actually just
or can he?
running around. Okay.
Infest
into Zephyr. Doesn't have his... Oh, he's just going to pop out. All right, you can die for me, young man. Good effort.
That was nicely done. I mean, he could have just raged DP out. Aegis regeneration, kicking in. Abba hit level 18, 40 seconds cooldown on borrowed time.
All right, you want to guess the next items for Abby after that? It's got to be Basher, right?
They need something. Yeah,
you need
they
a BKB.
Definitely need something to lock him down. Because with that 2 hits plus Manta style, I mean, Basher doesn't work on Manta, obviously, but double hit, something that the Pango is very good at. We're going to see that one again. A replay. He uses Rage. I thought
TP is up in 1 second.
Oh,
here.
that's
maybe it was too close to call. Yeah, I think so. Either way,
ask for an Uber.
Radiant's
yeah, it's
under attack.
It's not the best Uber. You don't go back to base with your friend and nobody, you know, one person dies. Usually Uber rides, that's like a 1-star, I would say. In my experience, at least, is DM is going to get the X mark. Ooh, Kunkka jumped in. Just a little too quick on the fingers there.
If my Uber driver doesn't say anything, that's 5-star for me.
I agree.
Away.
Totally agree. Yes. And apparently, I'm not a 5-star rated customer, apparently. I don't talk at all. I feel like that should be a good thing for Uber drivers.
Maybe it's a different story if you look at it from driver's perspective.
Just bored?
Yeah, they're bored. You don't talk, that means you're not getting a 5-star rating.
Man, I'm too tired to talk. Too much to think about. Oh no, he didn't go for... Yeah, Echo Saber changed his mind. I think he went for Basher. Oh, it's because he got the Mindbreaker, maybe. That'd be a really good item to have.
It's
on
a great
Position 1
item.
Abby.
Just instant silence into another silence. Sounds really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the initial silence just to get
It
10
lasts long
seconds
enough.
silent.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Disruptor, yeah, working on Ag and Upset. I mean, this is one of the best Ags in the game. The fact that they've actually nerfed it time and time again, but they've kept the muted of the items. As speaking of which, yeah, Kingslayer's dead. BKB TP. All right, Torrent will connect onto Zephyr though, so they'll at least get a support trade. As you can see, Tidal Wave. I'm not sure how long DM has had that, but I'll keep an eye on it for here going forward.
He's done some amazing stuff in the game when he played Kunkka. I believe it was, what's it called again? Tidal Wave into Winter Skirt. Like, you could push people for not attacking the target into forcing it to attack, which is really nice.
It's just one of those, like, it's a cool shard because it fits the lore and the theme of the hero. And at the same time, it feels a bit memey, but in reality, if you're really freaking good, you can make it look really good. And the opposite is true, of course. It's just like a Pudge, right? Like Jenkins plays 117 Pudge. Yeah, exactly.
It just comes back to that 117 every single time. You have to mention it.
Cuckoo is infested right now, so this will be an aggressive infest. Oh, DM might be the target here. They don't have vision though. Cuckoo, oh, he's gonna find Lina, but the big Yules just in time for the Chaotic Arm are gonna follow. To get that tidal wave off, but the choppity chop is enough for GPK to find his way to the grave. Does have buyback, will expend it. Nightfall, still with that Radiance. His DM is just getting kited from afar. You can see the Static Storm kinetic field just to try to separate this fight a bit. Look at this Abaddon. Pops that Madness out. Big call onto 3. This will be a dieback onto GPK. And VP are crumbling. T1 lose their axe, but that's about it for now. But look at Save. He's doing a ton of damage with that impetus. Carl, he'll drops from afar. But now you have to worry about 23savage. Historically speaking, pretty good against the Enchantress. Pops the Rage to dispel that glimpse. Now the right clicks have cometh into the Impale, and another kill for 23savage. Great fight from T1. Dieback GPK.
That was beautiful. Like what Cuckoo did there, first initiation on Lina, even though he got the Yules off, they still managed to kill him. We can see some damage here from the Fatal Bonds, and then he gets in the backline. Call onto 3 people. Here we go. 1.5 seconds.
Ooh.
Bam. Like, the damage coming out from Max is insane. Even though it was lowered, like the percentage chance from 10 to 5, it's still a big amount of damage.
The fact that the counter Helix does not share a cooldown with the other counter Helix, the brother, the twin, is the biggest part of it. You could literally have 0% extra chance and it would still be a god tier item in my opinion. As this will set up the second rush of the game for T1. Shard is available. Axe already has it. Viper we've seen take it from time to time, but I would expect 23savage to get that open wounds, nostalgic feeling.
The old school ability. This is actually Dota 1 Nights, aka Lifestealer, where he didn't have any abilities. His ability was magic immunity. That's it.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, maybe I'm not as old school as you, Mr. Lacoste. Maybe I just didn't play that much of them back in the day. I would play like the Troll Warlord.
Yeah, you played
Basher
skilled heroes.
And
you didn't play Raid King or Lifestealer. You were more like Gambler, I believe his name was.
Oh, I came after the Gambler, actually right after the Gambler, so didn't get to enjoy that one. I heard that Ricky had a ward though, Death Ward, and he can move around and not have to channel it. That sounds pretty broken. Maybe we can get a new hero with those abilities. Or just play ability draft, but nobody does that. As, okay, glimpse onto Zephyr. Like, oh yeah, does have the Agnum Scepter, so Burrow online. He was pretty far away from that, but after that last engagement.
Exactly, and they gave him cheese, so 50% damage reduction while he's underground. On top of cheese, gonna be very hard to kill.
Yeah, T1 with an 10k net worth lead. You can see the Culling Blade threshold talent.
Yes, that's the big one. That's the one that I mentioned. So they have potentially a chance to just burst Abba if they can time it right. It's not easily doable. Threshold is 650, 600. My bad.
Threshold. I thought you said trash hole. That would have been pretty good as well. But you're right. It's one of the few things that will. Is it the only thing that will go through Abby?
Has fallen.
I guess so.
finger, like any damage.
Oh, if you go before it goes off, though.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can use that while borrowed time, though. And it
Yeah,
kills.
that is correct.
All right, 23savage pounding on the tier 3 tower. Has the siege here as well, but it's going to reset. Actually going to TP top to try to find GPK. I know that his death would be pretty giant. Cuckoo? No, not going to find him.
It's a 5-man rotation. They don't get anything out of this. They have the 10k gold lead. BKB on Axe, 8-second cooldown. So do they have one on Viper for a long time. Natural BKB coming up from the Lifestealer, so they have a lot of bases covered. If somehow Kingslayer can manage to farm Abaddon Scepter, that could potentially be a big game changer. Problem is, there is no Philly. No Philosopher's Stone means you need to be out there. You need to be trying to farm it up with the Thunder Strike, which is not easy. Still 1,200 gold away from it, so it's going to take some time.
Yeah, I think I'm remembering correctly, there's only 2 mutes in the game now, right? Just Doom and Disruptor Axe.
There's also a third mute that I usually use when I'm playing
and the
on
scoreboard.
European servers. Yeah, the scoreboard
Gotcha.
mute.
Yeah, true. But DM now looking very strong on this Kunkka. Has a Solar Crest. We talked about the Shard Array with the Pipe. Extremely tanky. Actually going for a Vlad. So basically an all aura type. That's technically only one. Pipe is technically an aura, I guess. Yeah, very tanky indeed. But Kunkka is the one just doing the damage in these fights. He's the initiator. He has the 8-second BKB still. Has the Hyper Stone. We'll see if it ends up being a Moon Shard or maybe
I hope
AC.
it is the Moon Shard.
It's always fun to see it. And actually, he does have the ceremonial robe as well, so status resistance lowered by 10%,
which means long duration call.
Absolutely. That is a really good item. He actually is going for Moonshard. Awesome. That's going to be one fast attacking axe for sure. One thing to note for the 23savage with his open wounds, it is quite easily dispellable. As save, Cuckoo runs right into him. Battle Hunger's off. He doesn't have any damage really to kill him, so just trying to buy time and prevent a TP potentially. As
there is attack speed. Let's see how it matches Enchantress.
Yeah,
untouchable.
I don't know about that one. A Zephyr,
he's trying.
Yeah, DM is super dead. Just finds the. Oh, all right.
That's after Viper showed up.
Yeah,
so it doesn't really count.
Yeah, we want to see a 1v1 battle. Axe with Moonshard versus Enchantress level 3 untouchable.
What about Tiny against Enchantress?
Oh, you don't have time to watch that.
That's like 60-minute game until he hits it 3 times.
Yeah, pretty much. That gets into the late game by the time he right-clicks once. There's the AC online. So, I mean, again, like Axe picking up an AC, not the craziest thing, but because your Lifestealer's already doing it, Moonshard, I mean, why not? You want a Moonshard, or you want the Hyperstone at least. Could gonna for like a Mjolnir, I guess, but
Radiance
apparently Viper's going for that as well. So.
And it also grants you 200 bonus night vision, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's
Radiance
true.
top tower.
Mentioned, so you have that vision, maybe a better jump possibly. It's very hard for them to outpush the lanes. They have Ava with Manta Style, so he can like do one lane, but problem is there's always going to be 2 lanes push. Carl has double damage for a couple of more seconds. Glyph pop.
And this tier 3 tower is mega dead. Still a few more seconds left on the death timers here for the rest of VP. Keep in mind, Carl doesn't have a shard, so they're not pushing as fast as they could be, but doing more than enough. As there's the call from Cuckoo. Finds the carry. Abaddon gets off the Manta. BKB popped in the meantime. You can see Nightfall just not having that much presence in the fight here. As Cuckoo gets glimpsed back with the BKB, but you see the heal from 23savage again. He is really good. You brought it up earlier. Using that Infest to keep his teammates healthy.
He's been really impressive at doing that. And Nightfall pops BKB straight away. Was 9-second BKB, so
yeah, true.
I don't think it was needed, but we could also see in that fight that Axe can go in and just dunk him potentially.
Yeah, and it feels like at this stage of the game, when you have this much farm and this tanky heroes on the side of T1, the Abaddon carry is just kind of falling off to a degree. See the bash come online, 23savage, able to get a pretty easy one onto Kingslayer. So still working on that Abaddon Scepter. Not
getting
that far, though. Yeah, 500
If there's
away.
a fight which they think it could change the game, can potentially sell the wand, maybe even sell the tranquil boost.
Sell
Pretty much
everything.
Sell everything,
Literally.
buy a smoke, and drop that static storm. Level 15, I think this is one of the best level 15s in the game when paired up with the Aghanims, +2 duration on the static storm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's really strong.
We got some level 25s.
I mean, if they can get that onto Lifestealer before Rage comes off,
Dire are
that
scanning.
is a potential kill. I say potential. It's all about positioning here. Nightfall pops the BKB. TP out. No bash.
25 Viper. Nether Toxin cooldown. If that was Nether Toxin silences from the previous versions,
Yeah.
that'd be really good against Abba. Break plus a silence. Can't use ulti at all.
Wonder why they got rid of that talent.
I don't know.
Why?
It seemed perfectly balanced. AoE silence.
Well, it's... I mean, what's the cooldown on it now? It's without any... hey, again with the Spell Prism, are you kidding me? 2.5 seconds? Last time we saw this had the Spell Prism as well. So just the constant Nether Toxins, which, again, against Abaddon... I mean, that is actually something we didn't really talk about. We talked about the ult aspect of Abaddon, but his Curse of Avernus disabled within Nether Toxin. And that's what makes the hero good.
Pretty much, yeah. He is
Oh, Chaotic Offering cancels the TP for DM as he is just getting right-click from afar. Dunkity-dunk for Cuckoo.
Yeah, DM, also known as Dunk Me, and Axe grants his wish right there.
I like that.
It's too much damage coming up from this offlane Axe. He's staying on top of the network for a very long time. Pretty much having the same amount as Lifestealer at this point, which is pretty impressive.
You know, I hate to say it, but when GPK picked up those boots of travel,
Everything just went downhill.
he's right in the middle of the pack in terms of net worth. Not what you want to see. He did get off to a really good start too, so it's... I mean, that dieback was pretty much the game, I feel like.
Also, that fight when he cornered himself with a
Yeah.
BKB, couldn't get out.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, that's true. If he had a Wind Waker, he could have gotten out, though. That's a very common item these days, of course. He's going for the Eon Disc, though.
Invest 7,000 gold, sounds good. I've seen Wind Waker winning off games.
Yeah?
You know, certain
Radiant's
situations
top tower is
against
under
Faceless
attack.
Void, potentially just using it to buy a bit more time. But there's this item called Nullifier, which deals well with it.
Yeah.
It's too expensive.
I mean, what if you made Wind Waker non-dispellable?
It's a great idea, son.
Thank you. Thank you.
What about Global Silence not being dispellable?
Yeah, the silence would then be good. He's putting garbage right now. And we see the third Roche being taken by T1. The Shard is inside. So double Chaotic Offering, I assume, is what they'll go for here. And this is the fight for VP. This is the fight they absolutely have to win. They find Zephyr. It's going to take a while to... Yeah, they already have Roche. So, can they even kill Zephyr is the question. Static Storm is there, but the Infest comes off with that BKB or the Rage already activated beforehand. Yeah, he's absolutely alive. Gets 4-staff to the low ground, and with that, Nightfall is just going to get completely surrounded. Cuckoo and company going to have no issue chopping him down.
Yeah, this might be it. They can't even kill Nyx Assassin with the full combo pretty much, and he also had a cheese. Eon Disc was there, stays burrowed. Warlock uses the heal on him with the Holy Locket on top of it. It's just too much. Axe holding on to a refresher right now. He might handle it. Warlock, as you suggested.
Radiant's middle
See the
barracks
torrent
are under
defense
attack.
potential here. Zephyr not burrowed, so he's not getting that damage reduction, but there he goes inside the ground where he belongs. Cuckoo jumps in. Boom! GPK's gone. Just like that. Does have buyback though. Will expend it.
1, 2, 3 buybacks.
Yeah, Nightfall getting pressured now by the Lifestealer. LSA is not going to connect. See the tidal wave come through as well. The impale from across the freaking map. Nightfall just trying to get out. Does not want
Radiant's
to use
middle
that ult.
barracks is full.
Look how
Radiant's
slow he
middle
is. The
barracks
upheaval
is full.
is insane. We see the gem on the ground right now, so that's going to be a Rax in the mid lane. So we see a reaction from a player for some reason.
Echo Saber
Yes, he
baked
did
up.
it! This is where they turn it around. Nightfall with the Echo Saber. How can you counter this? That is the question, my friends. Impale from global range, that might have something to do with it, though. That's a pretty good counter, I think. Nightfall gets off the Aphotic Shield. They have to give it the second rack at the very least, but 23savage, right-clicking with that cool frenzy. Nightfall pops the BKB. You can see Whitemon gets off that Chaotic Offering with that Refresher Shard. Static Storm is applied, but really nobody of use inside here. They're just back in the fountain. The Infest again used to heal. GPK pops the BKB. Save. 23savage doesn't want to go for it.
They need to like glimpse or X-Mark to tidal wave.
Oh, they got the Viper thanks to the Echo Saber. The slow is huge, Lacoste. Don't forget the Echo Saber. Kingslayer gets out with just a sliver of HP. The Laguna Blade finally takes care of this Aegis. Okay. Now the LSA is going to not hit, but the Basher is there.
Dire's
Savage
top tower is under attack.
does have the Infest in 20 seconds. GPK gets found by Zephyr, and back in the ground he goes. Echo Saber going to work again with the Illusions. They'll find another support hero, but double buyback, making a triple buyback from T1. 23savage is left all alone right now. The Echo Saber, it's working, but the big call from the other side into the choppity chop. 23savage gets yet another kick comes up. He is healing up to a high degree. GGs are called. The Echo Saber, maybe if it was picked up 20 minutes ago, would have been enough. Look at that. Game 5, man. Yeah.
This is what we expected, and this is what we're gonna